Rock. I can't think of the guy's name. It's a brown book. It'll come to me in a minute. But in this book, the guys, I'm giving information that just about everybody, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley, and his theory, well, it wasn't a theory, he just said straight up then that all of them was killed. And so serious, it was white guys like Brian Jones from Rolling Stones and John Lennon, Kurt Cobain and all that. But naturally, John Lennon, you can tell that that's one. But because he's saying, just about all of them. So in his book, what completes the thesis of his book is Tupac and Biggie. It's Tupac and Biggie and stuff like that and all. Which, and this is a ritual too, because he makes he alludes to the fact that they have one chief main witness that ended up dying. He was the one that was the main one, especially when the Tupac murder. And Tupac got killed on the night of Mike Tyson's fight. The witness got killed the next time Mike Tyson and them fought, a year later or something. The witness got killed. You see, 6 months later. So he was making that point that that's a ritual. They got to take Biggie out, then they got this problem of this witness that saw everything, and they take him out on the ritual. The next Mike Tyson fight. You see, he goes into that particular aspect of how this whole ritual thing goes down. But like he said, which makes the point. Why is it that both Suge Knight, the manager, and Puff Daddy, the manager, sitting in the cars when both people die, and Puff Daddy blows the fuck up, gets bigger. You know what I'm saying? So it's a book. The name of it is A Conspiracy Against Rock, and it's an excellent book. But it's showing that, hell, even the white boys, they take them out too. When they feel, because they said the artist can free the people. You know what I'm saying? You got a political message and you got the art to go along with it, you can free the people. And so that's been, a real key. I wish I would have brought the book. I thought I did. But just remember, it's called A Conspiracy Against Rock. You only need the title or the name. And it's sold in most stores. It's sold in most stores. You can get it. So that's very key. Just going through a few things to warm up. In the brain, you have three major glands: pineal, pituitary, and probably the hypothalamus gland. Are the three major glands. Just inside of the brain and up under the brain, or encased within the brain, which is the actual other world. So Zarabanda and them would be the pineal brain compared to the other ones, the seraphonic realm, the dayside gods, being components of the brain, or being the actual brain. The word, when they say angels, when they break it down, it means angles of light. So angles of light, particles of what the brain sends these signals to tell you that all this is real, which is false. It's an illusion. So the gods that deal with you in the human form, and deal with you in the human form, and was with you in most of human existence, exists as the human brain. The human brain is the enemy. It is the matrix. It is what allows this bullshit to go on. Allows you to see shapes and forms of light that does not exist. So those gods would consist of the brain, and the underworld gods would consist of the pineal glands, the pearly gates, the gates of Zion. You ever hear the gates of Zion? Those are the pineal gland, pituitary gland, hypothalamus gland. Or the pearly gates are the three blind mice. The three blind mice. That's all the mythology talking about that. Even what's the name talking about them three blind mice? George Clinton. You know. What is that? Yeah. Okay, that's, well. Yeah. So even George Clinton talks about the three blind mice. You know, so, that's the glands up under the brain. So that is your Satan compared to, because that's the underworld. Lucifer, light bringer. The pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? Which Lucifer and Jesus is one and the same. Like Alvin Boyd Kuhn said that the 8 conferences, especially the Conference of Nicaea, they had to take out the word Lucifer and reduce it down to once in the Bible in Genesis compared to throughout all these texts, because you would understand that Lucifer and Jesus are the same. But he's the morning star in Genesis, and in the Revelations, Jesus becomes the morning star. But when you talk about that, they're talking about the pineal gland. Why they say morning star? We're talking about metaphysics. Jacob wrestled with the angel until the morning, and then he saw the face of God, which was called pineal. The great face is Horus, Heru, which is pineal and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it has something to do with that, and that is the underworld. You had a question? You're saying?
What was the reference you made to the angels as far as in relation to the brain?
Angels of light.
Angels, okay.
Yeah, it's basically what works with the brain. That is the demiurge, or we call the gods that rule over the day side. They're just a part of your brain, and the brain is the enemy. When they say that and all, there was like in the H.P. Lovecraft, the great old ones are cosmic beings that rule the universe that went to sleep. And when they went to sleep and in their tombs, there were some elder gods that came. Elder mean they're old now, but they were the younger gods at that time. And they found the great old ones sleeping in their tomb, and they placed the elder sign on them. And when they woke up, they could not get past the elder sign to wake up or to rise up. And they had to remain in a dreamlike state. Well, what was the elder sign? I said, what is the elder sign? And the Spirit said it's the brain. The physical brain that tells you that all this is real. You see what I'm saying? And so you are in a dreamlike state or an illusionary state. You see what I'm saying? A series of events that never existed. So if I'm very harsh on when I talk shit and say fuck it, fuck the children, fuck humanity and all that old crazy stuff, because I'm saying this because it's metaphysical, because it tells you right in the Hermetic text, when they go, is not the child real? Is not the woman real? Is not the man real? They say no, they are not real. They are mere appearances of something that appears to be real, but it's not real. It's on an illusion. So it's the difference between universe A and universe B. Universe B is the gods to come, and universe A is the gods that's going out. Is the gods that's going out. Well, I'm going to get into this war thing in a few minutes and try to explain how this shit is going down. And so we get ready to see some action get on the way. See some action get on the way in a few minutes. So this stuff is upon us. Is upon us. Remember now, if the Saddam Hussein shit is fake, because we know that Saddam Hussein was put in there by the government, is working with the government. We know that bin Laden is a part of the government. We know that there's nothing out here that they're giving you as an enemy that is not in cahoots with them, and probably in the White House chilling with them laughing. You see what I'm saying? So, if they are going to war, then in actuality they are conspiring to do something to you. We'll get into that in a few minutes. I'm going ahead of myself. But just remember, there is no such thing as no hostile element against America. That is the way they've always got you to go fight with that bullshit. You see what I'm saying? And we yet to see the motherfucker show up. And when they tried to show up, when they claimed they show up, it was the government blowing up their own damn building. You know, blowing up their own building. So that whole concept and all, I mean, they don't know nothing before the building is blown up. But after the building is blown up, they know everybody's grandmama. You know what I'm saying? But yet, you know damn well if you hijack a plane, they can tell the plane is hijacked from the moment you hijack it. But yet the plane can ride from what? Boston? What was the first place? Boston to New York? You know what I'm saying? And nobody stop them, and they got jets that can shoot down shit. Are we supposed to believe this shit? So that whole thing is it's not even worth even pondering whether that was one aspect. Oh, for the time we are here, you sisters, if you there's only one thing that stops aging. Other than the Pilates shit that they're real big into now, the Pilates exercises, you've heard of those things. That is basically an extension of the Tibetan book, The 5 Rites, The Secrets of a Fountain of Youth, which is called these 5 rites you do every morning. They just extended it in a couple of more exercises and give you the Pilates. So that does reverse aging. But one of the main things that reverses aging is straight up sperm on the face, which has the nutrients to do this shit within a week or a couple of days. Some spermatosis on the faceosis. Some nut in your eyeball. Is the stuff that produces that that you can see results in a matter of days. For the alchemical aspect. What's that?
Wouldn't it make a difference on the physiological health of that person?
Huh?
The person that's the sperm. Where it's coming from.
Yeah. Would it make a difference what?
The health of that person. The person that's
You're doing
sperm.
brother.
The person's sperm is coming from.
That's where it came from.
Well, I mean, you nothing anyway. I'm just saying this is for research purposes. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
People don't realize
Yeah.
content in
Yeah.
the sperm.
Of the sperm, yeah.
They researched it and found that the sperm has the equivalent protein and nutrition of so many eggs, so many steaks,
Right.
so many oranges,
Yeah.
and stuff. All put
Yeah, give a
together.
motherfucker a real milkshake. Real milkshake. Goddamn milkshake. Real milkshake.
Right, and people don't realize when they stop ejaculating and ejaculating, they're
Yeah.
keeping all that to themselves.
Yeah. So on one aspect we talk about, but if you do it and stuff, that is it. So I'm just saying, this is in the realm of that's also in the Dr. John Mumford's book, Ecstasy Through Tantra. They go into that particular thing, on that particular aspect, Ecstasy Through Tantra. They talk about that, the vital importance of that. What's that?
I read something on the web about this character, Sai Baba, and how he
Yeah.
was taking the sperm from the young children or the young boys in the neighborhood of India.
Well, they busted him. He's a homosexual. They busted him. He was bullshit.
He preserved his life through them. I'm taking that sperm
Yeah,
from them.
they busted him. He was trying to play it that way.
Yeah.
He was just, in love with them little motherfuckers. That's what that was about. They got it, yeah. They was busting him because it's a certain amount that the male, it makes sense that the sperm from the adult is the one that's ready for that. So he was just doing the pedophile thing on the ass. He doing some freaky deaky shit and got caught with it. And trying to turn it over as something spiritual. You see what I'm saying? That's what the deal was on him, on that type of thing here. But no, that's some bullshit about the little boys and stuff. But it is this way. You get it in Ecstasy Through Tantra. Ecstasy Through Tantra talks about that. Dr. John Mumford. What's that?
So, she's rubbing it on her face, she swallowed it.
No. She got to rub it on her face like she's doing a mud mask or whatever shit is. Or whatever. And let it dry in there and all that type of stuff,
I've heard they use some like animal spermatosis in women's medication.
Probably so, yeah. So yeah. But you need your Negro spermatosis.
Like 8 years.
Like I got dry elbows, I can just take this.
Oh, and it worked?
I work with dry elbows.
Well, that and also urine. Urine. Urine in your, especially, urine is in the morning. Because that means it has the melanin has come throughout the whole central nervous system. And there's this real melanin potent in the morning. So urine, like I said, one guy said he had a hole in his damn index finger that could not heal. And he said he tried everything. He was desperate because he knew this shit was about to rot off. And he started putting urine on and take a Band-Aid and put the urine in the morning and heal that shit. And he said like 2 days.
Athlete's foot.
Oh, he does that too?
Urine, yeah. Pee on your feet in the shower. That's what. As a basketball player, my younger
Yeah.
days, that's what we used to do. Coach would tell us to pee on the feet and get after his feet.
Yeah, okay, see?
Yeah.
And all.
People with aging, drink that urine to increase their T-cell count.
Well, and also they had one guy that was actually curing cancer. He was curing cancer with urine, and he had the prison systems giving him batches of urine. And when the government, at first they was doing it to see whether the shit was going to work. Then when he started having results, the government came in and stopped and convinced the prisons, stopped the prisons from giving this guy the urine and stuff like that and all. He was making major breakthroughs. And they stopped it and stuff. First, they were the ones that was helping him, letting him do it to see how far the research goes. But American Cancer Society said, what the fuck you doing, man? We're going to be out of business with this shit here. So they stopped it. They stopped him and all that type of stuff here. So we do know that type of thing also, too. But like I said again, the sperm on the face is the real facelift. You know what I'm saying? And all, for you sisters and all. I just ain't gonna put no nut on my face. I mean, I guess it's a male thing. I might put some your shit on my face. It's gonna be on there anyway. As long as I got a face, you got a place to sit. As long as I got a face, you got a place to sit. So, but y'all might need the milkshake going down.
Wait.
So.
Hey, Bob, that's what the whole missing and murder thing was about. Atlanta.
Well, that's what the interferon.
Right, exactly.
In the testicles of the young, and that's probably what your boy, but he was just straight up freaking.
Right.
But it was the interferon that was in the testicles of the young black males.
Right.
That was, and even the interferon in the females. That was like $1 million a vial.
Get a movie called Red Ink.
Yeah, Red Ink. Yeah.
They drop on that.
Yeah, Red Ink. That's the Atlanta child murders. And they had that part in there where the police is running, and they're running behind this Klansman supposedly. This police chief, and the guy turns around. The police chief turns around, and 2 black men is running. And they told them to stand down, you trained monkeys, and they put down their guns.
Yeah. And
the white man who was not indoctrinated, had to step through the 2 black men to kill the man. He had Red Ink. You can get that at a Blockbuster.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was just about to ask you a question about the
Uh-huh.
I was trying to figure out who they ever pick up for that.
Well, I mean, Wayne Williams is who they say, but they never.
He was a patsy.
He's the patsy and stuff, but they never really even charged him for a child that was murdered, but 2 adults. But to this day, everybody knows that and all. But to this day, they messed around and got him on lockdown for something that he didn't do. You see what I'm saying? On that particular aspect. Now, this is proof here to let you know that when I told you when your spirits died and the ancestors come and live inside of you, as well as the inner world the inner world or the other world that you thinking is out there somewhere is actually inside of you. When you're born, where do you come from? We would like to think we came from heaven. But why is it that you come through sperm? And the whole egg process. That ought to let you know that it's the human body that's just giving this shit, bringing this thing to life anyway. You see what I'm saying? So the sperm is actually the other realm, you see. And the vaginal secretions called collars. Like I said, the book to really get on this thing is called on those things. Well, you got the Donald Tyson's book, Sexual Alchemy, which is probably the latest and the newest book out. But the real technical text on this thing, as far as the research on it was done, is a book called The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real by Peter Redgrove, which is out of print, and it costs you maybe about $80. Going about $80 now to get it, if you can buy it off the internet. Depends on where you go. It's about $800. The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real, if you can get your hands on it. Otherwise, you have to get the one that's in print now, which is you still need is you need the Sexual Alchemy by Donald Tyson. Sexual Alchemy by Donald Tyson. That is one. In so many words, because it's all this stuff is going to show you that everything we're talking about is on the inside of us. The pineal gland used to be an outward type of gland or organ that the earliest humans had, that later on sunk below the horizon. And I talked about that yesterday when I said how the vibratory rate captured us, and as it became stronger, the spiritual senses became invisible and died on us. And that's basically the pineal gland becoming encased in bondage. So when they say Lucifer or Satan is bound for 1,000 years, they're also talking about the pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? Which, you know, the head of the serpent is the pineal gland based on the mythology of the serpentine fire, Uraeus crown. And the serpent is the one that's supposed to be Satan in the Bible. Well, Satan is also the Kundalini. The hell's fire is the Kundalini fire. Is the Kundalini fire. All these things are ancient terminology. So you busy worrying about Satan and all this kind of thing. Here in the evil is nothing but the fire within your body, which is also the sexual energy. That's why sex is equated with evil in so many words when it comes to the biblical shit. You see what I'm saying? And because of the biblical thing. So they say it's only for procreation. No, the ancients used to, procreation was secondary. They already figured that you're going to have a few babies. That's secondary. You know, hell, the animals do that. Sex was on a higher level in the ancient world. You see what I'm saying? But the serpent of the Garden of Eden, the so-called devil that they're talking about, or whatever, is called the Agos Damien. And the Agos Damien means one's own higher self, one's own genius self. That's the jinn that you know of in Islam. The jinn, which means genius. The word genius comes from the jinn. All that's connected. If you sift behind the moralism and get into the real esoteric meanings of what those things are. So the jinn is also the true genius of the genie. The genie, the jinn, the genius, the Damien, the Amen, the Amen, Damien, all of these things are just talking about the hidden true self, the Agos Damien, which is a holy guardian angel, which is key because we're going to go further into that tonight, where each one needs to link up with their holy guardian angel, or with their holy guardian angel. Link up with that holy guardian angel. In this particular case, now I'll show you how that goes in a few minutes and stuff. One of the aspects of linking up with your holy guardian angel, and I talked to people like this last night, is sexually. Sexual intercourse with the holy guardian angel, which is an actual entity that will bring you to a higher level of spirituality. You know, so there's an entity that can do this, and that's your holy guardian angel. I'll get into that further. Remind me, just so you can understand more about that particular aspect as we go on. Now it's interesting here because just a few things to note. They did the thing on Travel Channel, and they went around all these little islands in the Caribbean, and it's some of the most beautiful scenery and land on the planet. But yet it is very rarely inhabited outside of the resorts by white people. Oh, here it goes, and we got a problem here because we know white people, they don't want to turn down nothing of value. You understand what I'm saying? That they can't inhabit. But why is it white people only inhabit these islands based on the resort? Based on the travel resort that they go to, but they really don't live on the islands. The only thing that basically live in the interior of the islands are black people. And that is telling you that their constitution is too weak for them to actually live on those islands. They can't live in those tropical islands because they will die. So they have to be confined and sequestered into a resort area. Now they can have a vacation and travel about all these places, but they can't ultimately live on those islands. And so the only people can live on those islands were the indigenous people that they killed off and the Africans that they planted there. And so therefore now, black people live in the Caribbean in these beautiful exotic places that white people can't live. Because of because of the type of tropical life that they cannot withstand. You see what I'm saying? And so that's just very interesting how these particular things these things deal with these particular things. Now this is interesting here. If you notice, since they got these damn cell phones, and I even fell to the break because a sister bought me one. I'm like, okay then, shit. A sister bought me a cell phone. You notice you can't hardly find no fucking payphones at all. It used to be a payphone on every block. Now you miss a payphone, you might not find a payphone for 5 blocks. It take, you rarely find the payphones at all. That means apparently they're trying to get the people dependent on the cell phone. So a part of the government thing is to take out all payphones. You see what I'm saying? To force people to buy the cell phone. You see, which in most cases is a tracking device. And it's a tracking device when you can, because it's a fucking satellite. And if anybody go by coastal, and most of them, you get on there, it's got Central Time now, but by the time you land on the East Coast, you see what I'm saying? It's Eastern Time. For the mere fact you see that these things, the clocks on them can change time from Central, Eastern to Mountain, right there it's a tracking device. You see. Right there it's a tracking device and stuff, you see. Which led to the popularization of the beeper before the cell phone, came down the pipe. You see, well, hell, they just got 2 in 1 now. Not only do they get your damn track you, they get your conversation also. But, it don't really matter now because this shit is over. All phones are bugged anyway. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted you to be mobily bugged. But all that stuff is bugged anyway. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is interesting because Dr. Jewel Pookrum was down in Atlanta, and she said this, which I know coincides with my same research on the melanin in music. You can get a hold of those tapes, Melanin in Music. Because I knew that the music healed the people. And I knew, because I got albums, because the LPs are what really heals. And the CDs are holograms. But I got albums from and they discontinued albums mostly in 1990 on up. Although you could get albums, they cut them down to the point where as you couldn't hardly find their LPs. But the ones I bought in from 1990 on up, the sound is low. The one I brought from 1990 on up, the sound is low. You see? What you need, you say cut off?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I don't need it. What about that? That's it? Yeah. ones I bought from 1990, the sounds are low. You know, but interesting here, I've been listening, because I never could figure this out. So I got LPs, all of them sound great, but the ones from 1990, you got to turn up. So they got them on the level of a CD, a low frequency. A low frequency. So the thing here is, I noticed one thing about 20 years ago, that Motown records are recorded low. The LPs used to be recorded low. I used to buy them when I was buying the albums. It was always had a low frequency sound, so they knew that that was the primary. Although they had black people on most of the white companies at that time, they still knew that that was the primary black recording station, because the VJ and all the rest of the black ones had been folded, and the other new black ones had to be distributed basically by white companies. So Motown was still the main black one by Barry Gordy up until 98, until 88, till he sold it. They used to cut down the sound on them. Now I'm listening to Motown records from the late 80s, from the early 80s, and anywhere from the mid 70s to early 80s or late 80s, and it's got the same sound as the new albums from the 90s when they started cutting them all down. So obviously they was tampering something when it came to music and black people. Now, Jude Poopum said that most of your stations that you think is 100,000, we used to be 100,000 watts was the big shit in the 80s and the 70s, late 70s and the 80s. Most of the stations are not even 100,000 watts now, which means is they'll tell you they're 100,000 watts, but they got the frequency down low. And it said that everywhere that they turn down the frequency low and on the radio station, you go in that area, black people are getting sick. So that means there was a connection with the music and the melanin. You see what I'm saying? The music and the melanin. Now, they do have stuff now, and so, like I said, so CD technology basically is a holographic technology, but you can't override that if you go back and get the graphic equalizers and all of that. And the best way to do it is to get a receiver. So I go in people's house now. If you go in somebody's house and you see a system and all the shit is made together, you know that's a piece of shit. You usually get this for women. A little old pretty shit with all the stuff made together, that's a piece of shit. First of all, it's stupid anyway, because one piece breakdown, you got to take the whole thing and throw it away. So the real sounds, you got to have a individual receiver, individual, a CD player, individual, all these things and stuff. And that's the only real true sound. Anything you got that's made together is some shit for some college girl, students and stuff like that and all, and all this type of stuff. So I'm just saying the type of technology to hear real sound again, because what's happening here is, and what I explained in the movie Music and Melanin here is, with CD technology, it's possible that you haven't heard real music in 10 years, 10, 12 years. Because it does not enter the inner ear melanin. It's only a surface music. Even the old stuff, based on CD technology, it only enters the outer ear. And it does not enter into the inner ear melanin.
That's why you got to turn it up.
You keep turning it up and keep turning this shit up. And there's something void in the damn CD. It's a fullness that's not there. You only get that from a damn LP. Or if you got a CD player, you got to have a graphic equalizer to cut through. Or then you got to get some advanced systems. Like the Yamaha Natural Sound System is one. The Denon, the Harman Kardon. Was it Harman Kardon? No. Harman Kardon, the Denon, the Yamaha, and then top of the line's one. The top one is the Carver. That's the one where they take all the distortion out. That's the Carver. Those are $1,500 and stuff, but they stopped making those this year recently, for a reason. But you got your Denon, your Coleman Harden, your Yamaha Natural Sound. These things where they start anytime. So what it is here. Anytime they start getting into the $1,000 range, that's when you're getting real shit. All the other bullshit, I don't care, $500, that's still some domestic bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So anytime they start getting $1,200, $1,500, you see what I'm saying? Now the cool thing about it here is you can go to the pawn shops and find those same ones for the same price you're gonna go pay for the other domestic models. See, there's a difference between the shit that they make for the United States, because black people are over here, and the shit that they made from overseas. That's why everybody know the brothers in the army used to go over there to get their systems. Niggas say, I'm going in the army, they ain't give a two thing when they went in the army, got a car and a motherfucking stereo. But they go over there and get that because they was not domestic models, because they wouldn't sell domestic models, nothing but domestic models, so they wouldn't sell the other stuff. Now those things cost $1,500 and stuff on them. And now, even though, because Onky and all the Pioneer and all them, they do have a top model. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it here is, if you can get your Coleman Harden, which is the stuff they're making now, Coleman Harden, Denon, and Yamaha Natural Sound, you can go to the pawn shops and get these things. You see what I'm saying? You're going to spend money because you got to buy the speakers, you got to buy the receiver, you got to buy the speakers, get your graphic equalizer as you can, and you know, you got to buy those things also too, to take that individual. You can pay money for it, but this is the way you're going to get some shit that's going to be some stuff equivalent to melanin sound. You see what I'm saying? Melanin sound and stuff. And I know because that's what I'm operating on and shit. You see what I'm saying? You know, and so this is the type of stuff to break through to the inner ear melanin, and this is healing. You see, healing. But see, me, I got 5,000 albums. So I never stopped playing those LPs. And which is good. Now, this is a pastime that you need to get in worthwhile. Get you a real turntable, which is a Techniques. That's the top of the line shit. No closing play stuff. And you go out, and they got albums be unscratched. Perfect albums, $1. You just got to go around this one. You want to do some pastime shit. Go and get some LPs for $1. All the shit that you used to love. And that's when you're getting real music. And then you plug it up to some real shit, and you can heal yourself from that. That's very important. That's why I'm saying these things. But you got to go back and, you know, they got, every place I go, they got places where you can go to get LPs for $2 and $1. You see what I'm saying? And you go, and white people is going and buying vinyl. That's what the movie High Fidelity was about. It was a funny movie with John Cusack and Jack Black. But the movie was about white people getting vinyl. And they had a research that has things in the paper the last 5 years. They've been going, and they're going and getting this vinyl. So you need to go out to these places. They got them all over the place to sell this vinyl. The shit don't cost them but $1 and something. You see what I'm saying? And get some of this vinyl, and that's the stuff that's healing. Because they did a test on us. That's how we heal. We sick now. And we're sick now with all the diseases now and stuff like that now because we ain't been listening to music in 10 years. We've been listening to CD, which is a hologram. What's that?
Yeah, most of the recording now is done all digital. They don't even, everybody's throwing away all that old analog listening boards now.
All of that, all of that type of stuff. And my point here is, even the old stuff that they're putting on CDs, they're taking certain octaves out. You see, one white boy was telling me, he said he was a Miles Davis fan. So he had all the Miles Davis albums. So he said in 1992, when he bought him a CD player, he said he went and got rid of all his Miles Davis albums and bought Miles Davis on CD. And he said he'd been listening to him, he said, for over 30 years. And he said, wait a minute, hold on, something ain't right. I know this tune. I know when this horn is coming in, and it wasn't there. You see? And then he looked on the back of the CD, and it said, one of the CDs he bought, it said, we've taken out certain octaves. Now, for the music lovers, if you go into stores, you will see a Miles Davis Kinda Blue for $10. Then you'll see a Miles Davis Kinda Blue for $30. The one with the $30 is equivalent to the LP. They make the high quality shit, you just got to pay more money for it. You see what I'm saying? You know, but you can override all that shit with even the one they got if you get your equalizer and still hold on to those. Now that's real key because equalizer, the Technique still make one they sell that you can buy. It's the last one making them. But you can get an equalizer in pawn shops. $30, $40 all day long. And this is stuff that heals you. This is stuff that heals you and stuff like that. You see, you listen to the CD and stuff, it don't enter into the inner ear. You got to get the mind on. Unfortunately, for younger people who music only came by the way of CD and stuff, you fuck. You know? But if you want to hear some other stuff, go get the equalizer. And you can basically override as best possible those types of things. But they already have it set for you to be sick. They studied this thing all of the 70s, and they say, man, we done put all kind of shit on these niggas. But they come into work every Monday, all right. They ain't getting sick. And they figured it out, it was the LPs and the music. You see. In the music. So they worked until they could get something to control the sound quality that goes to the inner ear melanin. And the inner ear melanin gets in touch with the muses, the meloscenes, the mermaid. These are microscopic organisms inside of the melanated body of indigenous people. You see. Now don't be confused with whether there's a person light-skinned. That's just because some people think because you're light-skinned you got less melanin than a dark-skinned person. That's not the kind of melanin. That's only melanin based on the pigment of the skin. That's just your melanocytes to protect you from the sun. What we're talking about here is an inner melanin, which is a form of the DNA. That's a whole different thing. You see what I'm saying? That's why you got 4% or 3 to 4% white people who are Negroes. You couldn't say, how the fuck that white boy do some shit like that? Motherfucker, a nigga. That's the whole gene pool shit.
Babe Ruth.
Negroes and stuff, like Frank Sinatra. Now the reason why I say that is because one brother saw a vision of Frank Sinatra, and he was sitting between two black figures, two black entities. You see what I'm saying? Two black entities and stuff. You see what I'm saying? They got a lot of white people throughout history. Like, how that motherfucker do some shit like that? Because he's a goddamn nigga. You see the gene pool thing, and one brother even says this. This particular gene pool thing in America is interwoven more than we think it is when it comes to white people. You see what I'm saying? That's why the people in Europe saying, them crackers over there ain't pure. This is some shit that's going on here. Because why all of a sudden these white girls is coming down with booties? And it can't be because they all getting the silicone shock. These motherfuckers coming out with booties don't even know nothing about that shit. That means that you got some gene pool shit mixed up. See what I'm saying that's going on? They've been more damn sleeping behind than what they say. And they said if they're really rich, there's a lot of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Whole families with this shit is straight up Negroes. You see what I'm saying? On that particular level and stuff like that and all. And this is stuff that's going down. So, I'm going down and stuff like that. You got that kind of stuff that's actually happening. So the melanocytes has nothing to do with it. We're talking about inner melanin is the aspect of that type of thing. So don't think because a brother from the continent, he has more melanin. No, he has more melanin in the pigment of the skin. You see what I'm saying? That's a variation from all around the damn world. That's different. We talk about melanin because the majority of people in East India are black. If Vera Gandhi said that too damn President Carter. Oh, we are a black nation. You see what I'm saying? That type of thing here and stuff. So we're talking about intermelanin and stuff like that. No, we're talking about intermelanin and different things like that. And so now going back, that has a lot to do with the actual the music. For the people who's ever experimented with systems, they done had some shit before. You wouldn't be too far removed of what I'm talking about when you go out and get you some quality shit to listen to. You see what I'm saying? To listen to. But the key here is, if you can get a receiver, is to also get you a graphic equalizer. Pick you up an equalizer and pick you up a real decent turntable. You see, a real decent turntable and stuff. And very key things to get down with. Now, this is very interesting here because the Kundalini energy that is in us, the sexual energy, the Kundalini energy, the hell's fire, the fire, our God is an all-consuming fire. The Kundalini energy that is in us is a feminine energy. And this has a lot to say because that means in actuality, if the Kundalini energy is a feminine energy, that means that the people who have full access to the Kundalini power, their males are nothing but renditions of women. They are male women. So, in the particular aspect here is because the force that's in us is a feminine energy. And this is only a hologram, then that means in actuality that that particular force inside of us is just nothing but an extension of the divine feminine. You see, which is interesting here when we say that black male, and especially black man in America, is not only you have racism, but you also have sexism. He's one of the few males that is discriminated based on his sexuality too. When it comes to the European man feeling inferior based on that shit, based on the sexuality thing. But there's a spiritual aspect about that also too, and that is that the force within him is a feminine force. The Kundalini is a feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? Which is one of the great mysteries. And even Crawley mentioned it in his book, The Book of Lies, which is it's an old, outmoded book. You can't understand half the shit up in it. But he makes one statement in the book, because he codes everything. He talks about the great brotherhood, the great white brotherhood, which is talking about the great brotherhood of light. He said, the people on earth refer to the great brotherhood of light as all males. But in heaven, the great brotherhood of light are all females. That's the upper room. That's interesting here because I was talking, the angel that came to Carlos Santana, because Carlos Santana is a Palo priest. That's what he's dealing with. Because on the tape, Maria, that last one he did, when they had that one, the guys on there talking about Mama Shola. And Mama Shola is Oshun of the Palo, or Isis, or Aset of the Palo cut. Mama Shola, the goddess of fertility, the goddess of children and childbirth. You see. So when the angel Metatron came to him and told him he did what he wanted to do, because he ain't nothing but another nigga too, fucking Carlos Santana, and told him to do what he needed to do, and he was going to put him back on top, and the album stayed on top for damn near a year, Supernatural. That was Metatron. They talked about that on VH1. The angel came to him, Metatron. The angel appeared to me a year before. Metatron, and he said, I'm Metatron, I'm also from a Melchizedek, and all this kind of thing. So when my mate came, we came back from the Indian Mounds, and she was channeling, and I was turning into the so-called Great Brotherhood. And I said, oh, I get it. Y'all a bunch of bitches, ain't you? And he said, you got it. We like you. Like that, no. I said, so I understood outside of the concept of this physical force and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Which leads to this particular aspect. When the original realm, which is this realm now, was overthrown, and you can get this in the Enuma Elish, the oldest part of fall in the world, by the book. I want you to get Barbara Sproul's book, S-P-R-O-L-E, Barbara Sproul book, Primal Myths. Because mythology is the key to this shit. Primal Myths. That's it, Barbara Sproul. Yeah, let me hold it. Let me see something. So you brought it. This book, Primal Myths, Creation Myths from Around the World. Barbara Sproul, S-P-R-O-U-L, that's it. And in this particular book, you're going to get all the creation myths from around the world, but the oldest creation myth that survived is the Enuma Elish from Mesopotamia. Is actually coming out of Typhonian Egypt, but the one in actual meta form is destroyed. We found glimpses of it in the coffin text, but we only have fragments. So the Egyptian creation myth, which is also in this book, is Ra overthrowing El Apep, the great mother, the great dragon. And that starts, but that's a later day myth. But if you want to get the older version, you got to go up into Mesopotamia, Northeast Africa, same shit before, a man-made ditch, Suez Canal, cut the shit off. Which is called Ancient Kushite, Ancient Kush. Enuma Elish is the actual story of the fall of the Great Mother. And in that particular one, it's interesting because when that realm existed, which is this realm returned, you see, when that realm existed, it had both male and female in that realm. That's why I tell anybody these days it is not good to exclude people. And what I mean by that is this. Sisters will go up and they'll get a sisterhood. All sisters. But they're only copying the patriarchal thing of the brotherhood. Now the matriarchal system said when the sisters was running, it was all inclusive. They included, they wasn't going to throw away the motherfucking son. He came up out of them. So the mystical rites and the brotherhoods of the ancient mystical rites included was male and female. The patriarchal level is all exclusive. They exclude. You see. So when the sisters go get a sisterhood and thinking they are countering the patriarchal thing, they are actually following the path of the patriarchal thing by excluding the brothers. I'll give you an example. The sisters up in Philadelphia had a group called the Sisters of Serpent. They had one brother there was a mystical brother, but he was the money man. He was the motherfucker, as long as he rolled and he didn't have to drive, he spared no expenses. That was his shit. I don't like to drive. He got 2 cars. As long as you rolling, I got the money. I'm a bum with a check. So I spend and take care of all the shit. The sisters got together and started a sisterhood. They excluded the brother. And the brother was the goddamn finances to the shit. You see? But he was also spiritually all the same. You see? And what they didn't realize was they was copying the patriarchal shit when you exclude the sister. See, now I be like, a motherfucker like, yo, oh man, I'll tell you what, man, okay, man, we need to get together, have a brotherhood. I said, man, not unless you got some pussy up under that goddamn shirt, you can cancel that bullshit. I'm a grown fucking man. I don't fuck around with no niggas. You can't show me where I can get some lace around some drawers. I ain't talking about no goddamn Hershey Highway either. No Dookie love. You know? Oh, we need to get together. For what, nigga? What the fuck can I do with you? The ultimate aspect of getting to the high level is rumbling the damn sheets. That's it. All the other gateways have been closed. Rumbling the damn sheets. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And a set of goddamn balls don't do it for me. I'm sorry. So my point here is, what the fuck I'm gonna get a brotherhood? That's organized homosexuality. That's like the National Football League, which is organized homosexuality. That's what the whole shit is about. You know, what the hell I'm gonna do that shit for? You see? So that's bullshit, you know what I'm saying? There was no such thing, and so the whole concept of the mystery system we're learning now, because we got the whole is most important. You see the big penis of Osiris, that means it's a tantric system. You see what I'm saying? So it's got to be the sisters up in there. Otherwise, you're just bumping your goddamn gums with a fucking brotherhood. You see what I'm saying? With a brotherhood and shit like that. You know. So we want to deal with this thing here now. That's what the real shit is about. Not no brotherhood. Anybody want to challenge me on this shit? Speak now. Like the brotherhood now. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Like the now, that kind of way. On that level. So I mean, but so that's why you see in the sister thing, it was all inclusive. You see what I'm saying? That's some Hebrew shit, where you got you ain't got the sisters doing nothing but mopping and cleaning and cooking some damn bread. You see what I'm saying? Cooking some bread and stuff like that. No, you see, so it's very interesting here. But in this book here, Primal Myths, they're dealing with the Enuma Elish up in here. But all of these creation myths are very good. It needs to be studied. Also too. Now, let's see. Before I go into my final stuff. Now, like it said in the book The Zelator by Mark Hetzel, that the secret societies is trying to hook up with some type of Masonic black brotherhood. That's what they're looking for. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're looking for. To save them. Because they know that, let me tell you, their shit is completely dead now. They ain't rolling with nothing. Because they can't get in on any of these gateways. What I'm talking about here. They ain't there. No matter how many books they write or whatever kind of shit, that's just old, outmoded shit. Them motherfucking crackers is not there. You see what I'm saying? So they're looking for the type of brotherhood. They're looking for the people with the right shit, and they can convince half of you all. You see what I'm saying? Because they want you to save them. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, the Illuminati's reason for wanting the black woman is because they figured, like I told this yesterday, because they figure if their offspring, if they're going to go out, they want their offspring to survive. So they want a sister to come in there and amalgamate them or whatever the deal here is, and miscegenate them on into the doggone fold by bringing the melanin thing to them and all. So they're looking for that, and that's why all of the TV shows and all of that stuff is promoting this shit now. And promoting this stuff now. And that is a reason for that now. Because they're looking for these types of sisters to come do this. That is the only reason. Not because they love you, because they want to take care of you. That's some bullshit. Your own motherfucking man don't want to take care of your ass. You know goddamn well a white man don't want to take care of you. Shit, let's be realistic here now, damn. You know, what's that, brother?
I think I saw sisters last.
I'm just giving you so you don't get the damn ideas and get ahead of yourself. You gonna go out and get a damn white boy and shit. Ain't nobody wants your ass. So if it is, it's just for some damn to make some babies and stuff so they can do it. They ain't want to have nothing in common with your ass. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, just like anything else and stuff. You know, now that white girl, she just shit. You know, that's she just the hoe that's been down with that for the longest. You know what I'm saying? But don't let nobody fool you. It's not that you gonna say, at least somebody care about me. Shit. If your own son don't give a fuck about you, you think the damn devil gonna give a damn about you? Shit. Much as he used to kill your ass, don't be fooled now. This is some shit so that they can see themselves into the future. You see, that's what that particular thing is also talking about here. That's what that particular thing is also talking about here. So let's see here. We're still talking about this other realm. There's different aspects of it. You need to get the fairy kingdom. So a lot of you will see some small little things that's coming down. Little fairy kingdom, little people. The movie that you need to get is Photographing Fairies. That is a hell of a movie. Photographing Fairies.
That's Disney.
No, That's forgot that Ben Kingsley is in that movie, and it's a British movie. Photographing Fairies. It's awesome.